Nice little boutique gin made up in Scotland. An ounce of Hendrick's gin. We're going to do a 3/4 ounce of simple syrup. The thing to keep in mind with a champagne cocktail is champagne, being an important ingredient, is very acidic, right? Not only is it acidic, therefore you need to understand how that's going to behave in a cocktail, but if it is acidic, if people are thinking of drinking champagne, they're thinking of drinking acidic. So you never want a champagne cocktail that's going to be too sweet.
And Charlotte, is your simple syrup a 1-to-1?
My simple syrup is a 1-to-1.
So 1 part sugar, 1 part water.
Yeah.
Some people do a richer simple syrup with 2 parts sugar, 1 part water.
And some people do a very complicated simple syrup, and they're based up in Seattle. The French 75 is kind of made in 2 parts. First we're going to combine these 3 ingredients, give it a good shake. And again, there are many different ways that you can do this, but perhaps the classic way would be to use one of these nice bar spoons that has a tight spiral. And one of the reasons that we use the spiral is to control the flow of the champagne. So we just hold the bottle of champagne at the base, showing the label to our guest, and we're just going to pour the champagne down the spiral. In this day and age, of course, there are fine sparkling wines made in many parts of the world, but if you are making a classic French 75, one would suppose it would be the moment to use a champagne.
And Charlotte, I think this is really one of the drinks that's the most fun to really get creative with. I've got a big twist going on over here, but it's really fun to shake in seasonal fruits or fresh herbs, and
absolutely,
it's just a great base foundation for you to get really creative with.
Talking of big twists, I'm just going to garnish this with a, thanks for the person that got that, a nice long horse's neck, just from the peel of a lemon. So there you have a classically made French 75 cocktail, inspired by a combination of cognac and champagne, made technically with gin, fresh lemon juice, and champagne.
Very
Kathy,
nice.
over to you.
I'm going to kind of squeeze that, give it a quick little muddle. Now, I love this cocktail also with fresh rosemary, so and thyme. So you could give it a little twist with that if you like. So I'm just going to give that a little quick muddle. I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of Hendrick's. It's going to have all kinds of yummy layers of flavors. Then I have a house-made limoncello that's very, very simple to make. I'm going to do about 1/2 ounce of this. And I also show how to make that on my video series too. So 1/2 ounce of house-made limoncello, 1/2 ounce of honey syrup, and I have 3/4 ounce of fresh lemon juice. And then I'm going to ice this up. I'm going to give it a good shake. Now, I typically serve this in a little bit larger of a glass because this is a big juicy cocktail and there's going to be a big coupe of champagne in it. So we have a little bit smaller of a coupe today.
Yours isn't good enough.
I'm going to go into here. And then I'm going to add a nice topping of champagne on top. And then I'm going to do, you could do a lemon zest twist. I'm doing clementine twist on the top of this. Again, right over the top. It is spritzy right there. And that is the Citrus 75.
So we'll rinse out my jigger. It was some for my homies too. So we have 1.5 parts of the gin. We're going to do 3/4 of a part of this lovely gin syrup, for lack of a better word, my condensed French 75. And I'm going to do equal parts lemon to my gin syrup. Now, as you heard me yell earlier, I'm a big fan of the 2-to-1 simple syrup. Here's the reason why. What is simple syrup? It's sugar and water. I'm already adding water to my drink. I don't want to add more water unless I absolutely have to. So I'm using less water and making a 2-to-1 syrup. The other reason why I use a 2-to-1 syrup is because a lot of time when I'm using sugar in a cocktail, and you'll see this in the next cocktail I do, I'll just add a dash of it for mouthfeel. Sometimes I'll taste a drink, it tastes amazing, but it feels thin in the mouth. Now you notice, what the hell is he doing? He's adding all this stuff in. He hasn't even shaken anything yet. You gotta account for the foam. So what I have here is sort of, a world exclusive, the beautiful Perlini system. And this is a system that's going to be available as of Tales of the Cocktail for sale. What it is a cobbler style shaker, and I'll explain how that works, that allows you to carbonate pretty much anything that you put in here and use it as a cocktail shaker. Again, pretending that this is a cobbler shaker, we're just going to add ice. Can we get like smaller? So,
Yeah.
or bigger scoops?
Yeah.
One of them too?
Yeah.
Alright, so just like you would with your regular 3-part cobbler shaker, I've taken the bottom part, I filled it with ice. This is right here is the home version. The home version takes a little bit longer. Perfect. And then we're going to shake it up just like a regular cocktail. Let that settle for a bit. Now, I've been asked, like, why can't you use a soda siphon? Why can't you use an ISI? It's not the same. He found a magic number of which to pressurize this. There's a certain pressurization that the CO2 will soak into the alcohol. The other beautiful thing about this too is that you can shake it and add and chill your entire cocktail, as well as adding your dilution, which is very important. We're going to want to do a nice little lemon twist because we have to make it recognizable as a French 75. Spritz and around. We'll put that in there. I'm slowly letting the gas out because the slower the gas goes out, the more stays in. Just like champagne, you don't want to pop it open, right? You want to ease it up. You take off the top just like you would in a cobbler, strainer, and away you go.
Fuck yeah.
So this is my, what do I call it, 5625? What's the square root of 75? Or square root of 75? 5625 Collins. To the Brits and the Canadians for bailing out